I think I need to read my eulogy. So I'll say good afternoon, friends and family. We gather here to celebrate Anne, or Auntie Anne, and I'm being told to speak up louder. So not only do I have to work to slow down when I speak, I'll speak louder. So we're celebrating the life of Anne, or Auntie Anne to some, and my condolences to those who are hurting, to the family, to the friends. But remember, Anne was a woman who had an immense heart. She was full of love for her friends and her family, and of course her cats. She'd not want you to grieve. She'd like the attention, but she wouldn't want you to grieve. But rather, she would want you to remember the good moments, the moments you shared with her over all those years. And as Dr. Seuss said, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. We know Anne loved to laugh and was also a little bit mischievous at times. We all remember that little smirky grin that would appear on her face as she tried to think of a smart aleck line or a comeback, typically a result of us provoking her. My first funny memories involved her little brother, Tony. I say little, but of course he towered over her and most of us for that matter. He would often push her wheelchair and then let go, which would throw Anne into a tizzy. But don't worry, he was usually able to gain control before anyone got hurt. Anne loved her family and kept me informed all along the way of the great parties that Sister Liz would throw, or of her adorable dogs. She expressed how proud she was of Simon's bike racing and of his little kids, aren't so little now, land in an alley. Or how happy she was that Leah found someone who grounded her. Although I think it's more like Cloud 9, but. Or the many Facebook updates that you would make, Leah, about little Ainsley. And of course, we can't forget how much Anne loved and was so grateful for Bex. You were a champion. You jumped in over the years, the last few years, to support Anne, especially the last few months. I know how much you meant to her. We all thank you. And Pastor took away my words. I think this is absolutely amazing. It really summarizes Anne. It's not part of my speech, but this is absolutely amazing. Thank you, Bex. Anne also loved her friends, such as Tricia, who she knew from when they were 16 or 17 years old, probably watching on the live stream, or Stella, who was the reason Anne came to Canada, or Kathy, who went to school with Anne, or Arlene, with who I have had the opportunity to spend time with, the pleasure of spending time with. And then there's Marguerite, who would debate with Anne which one of them would go first. Marguerite, you lost. But you all meant so much to her. And I do have a little message to read from the old country, from back home. This is from Shirley and Pauline. To all of dear Anne's family and friends gathered here today, it is an honor and a privilege to be able to share our thoughts and memories on the life of this remarkable lady. Even though as cousins, our families have been separated across the pond for many years, we still regularly kept in contact, catching up on all the news. In fact, reading Anne's last email received in September, she seemed far more interested in the arrival of a new grandchild here and where, and the awards of MBEs to 2 family members, than casually mentioning at the end of her message that she was suffering from chronic kidney failure. Pauline, our late brother Paul, and I fondly remember the many summers Anne stayed with us in Ware, and Della, our mum, teaching her to swim at our local outdoor pool. We still have photographs of us all posing with Anne's 3-wheeler car, which she used to fly down the A1 from Pinner Park Avenue. This was the Blues family home, where many happy Sunday afternoons were spent. In spite of her adversities, nothing seemed to faze Anne. Yes, life was a challenge, but she rose on every occasion, achieving so much and setting such a great example. Even at a young age, she taught us all how to seize each moment and opportunity. Even though we have been living in different continents, it seems like only yesterday that we laughed together. We will always remember the fun times we spent in our innocent, carefree years. Thank you, Shirley and Pauline. I've only got a little bit left. Finally, some of you might not know how I fit in. I was a student Anne rented a room to while I attended Western, and over the years we became great friends. I felt like I became part of the family, almost a big brother or an uncle, we don't really know, to Simon, Beck, and Leah, because I spent so much time with them. We all know that Anne was short in stature, but very long in conversation. I've had many of those long chats with her, as I'm sure most of you have as well. I was always impressed with how Anne cared about what was going on in my life and with those around me. She always spoke about her friends and her family. And did I mention her cats? Yes, there were some rough times, but her enduring love for her family and friends always shone through. So I say, rest in peace, dear Anne. Enjoy the freedom of movement, because you're not going to need your crutches or your wheelchair there in heaven. And you can relax. Tony's not pushing you anymore. Thank you.